All right, Nation. We're going to talk a little bit about Dak Prescott again. The NFL decided to do a revisit of the draft of 2016. And within those confines of the 2016, the Dallas Cowboys, boy, did we had a great draft that year. When you think about it, collectively speaking, just collectively speaking, we had a great draft. Ezekiel Elliott, Jalen Smith, even Malik, although he's gone. And then you think about it, the Dak Prescotts of the world was in that particular draft. So they did the revisit of that draft. And of course, with the first overall pick still, Jared Goff went to the Rams or what have you. And then with the Eagles, they still moved up with the Eagles and they got Carson Wentz going there. But here's the craziest thing of it all. Joey Bosa still goes with the Chargers, but the Dallas Cowboys, the mighty Dallas Cowboys that they have on that particular list, still select, not Ezekiel Elliott, but dare I say they select Dakota Prescott. I think in an alternate universe, that would have been the situation. That would have been the case. Remember this. They judging this basically out of the 2016 class, what they're collectively done. So they're not looking at the fact that Paxton Lynch was a horrible guy and whoever the other quarterbacks that was drafted, like the Brissett and all of those other guys, they're not looking at it like that. They're just looking out for what the quarterbacks are doing now or what the draft picks are doing now. I think they have the New Orleans Saints going with Ezekiel Elliott. Can you imagine Ezekiel Elliott with Drew Brees and company and Michael Thomas? Ooh, that would have been a dangerous team there. So that's what they're looking at. And I think with the 20th pick, the Jets, they pick up Jalen Smith. As if, I guess, they calculating if his injuries were not a factor. So there goes to show you that this particular team, this particular draft, we did good in 2016, if you know what I mean. Now, it could be in this alternate universe that the Dallas Cowboys in the second round will go with a Derrick Henry. Could that be the situation? Dak Prescott and Derrick Henry? Because we still needed a running back. So that could be the situation. I want to know how you guys feel about that. And of course, Jalen Ramsey, he still goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars in this particular makeshift type of reality of a draft that they kind of put things together. Now, I do know that there's a lot of people, not some people, but a lot of people look at Dak Prescott and say, man, he can't hit water if he fell off a boat. And Law, you just a Dak Prescott apologist because he went to Mississippi State, Hell State, you see? But no. It's just like what it is, 40-24. I can only imagine if Dak Prescott went into a system that knows how to run and operate football operation. I'm not saying that this guy, Jason Garrett, is trash or anything, but the problems that most people say about, dare I say, this particular team, the same problems happened before Dak Prescott put on the silver and blue. I'm going to repeat, the problems that everybody says that this team goes through was the same problems that we had before Dak Prescott ever threw on that silver and blue. That's the reality. I get a lot of people that come into me and say to this, or come at me and say to this and say, Dak Prescott, he's horrible. He's trash. We could do this with any quarterback. And they forget about 2015, if you know what I mean, right? They forget about all of those years that we had before, dare I say, Dak Prescott. They forget about the times in the situation where it was win or go home. And all we had to do is win this particular game and win the playoff. And we folded. They forget about that. And there's no shade, no salt being thrown at the wonderful, the brilliant, the remarkable Tony Romo. Because everybody that knows me personally know that I've been fighting for Tony Romo. And What's the difference between Tony Romo and an Aaron Rodgers? Or Tony Romo then an Eli Manning? Or a Tony Romo then Drew Brees? Yeah, I said it. Y'all can fight me later. Nothing. Head coaching. And with the Eli Manning situation, that defense was really nice for them. Eli Manning, if you had a situation or a choice or a scenario or a possibility, you're not going to sit there and say, give me Eli. You would say, give me Tony Romo. It's just the fact that they had different situations. They had better, dare I say, coaching situation for Eli Manning. And on top of that, with the Aaron, dirty, bad man Rodgers, had better coaching. Trust me, in an alternate universe, if Jerry Wayne Jones didn't pull the trigger on Tony Romo, he would have been playing for the New Orleans Saints. He would have been picked up for the Saints under that particular coach, Sean Payton. Point out to me where I lie. I'm not lying, Cowboy Nation. So I'm looking at it like this. We have the tools now. We have a better coach. I know we haven't played it down in football yet. You haven't played one game. But just off for sure resume alone, give me Mike McCarthy. Give me this new defense philosophy that they bring it to the table. You know they got the big boys inside now. They didn't have that many of years ago with the Dallas Cowboys. Now they are investing in that particular spot. They are putting money and resources in that spot. Boy, oh boy, don't we love to hear that and see that. It's a good situation for us, Cowboy Nation. It is. Because when we think about this, Ezekiel Elliott, he will be better with this particular offense. Why, Law? Because now we have Tony Pollard. Think about this too. Just think about it. Tony Pollard last year was drafted to help aid Ezekiel Elliott. But this last year coaching staff, you know what they did? They gave Ezekiel Elliott more snaps than he ever had in his entire career. When you have a dog that's right behind him that can take the distance, that can run in between the splits, can catch the ball out of the backfield, and can give you reverse sweeps actions, and also nobody to sneeze at as it relates to running vertical routes. But they looked at Tony Pollard, and they the ones that put him in handcuffs. That's the reality of it. But you have Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard. Now you remove Jason Witten out of the situation and elevated Blake Jarwin. And here's why I like Blake Jarwin. Guess what? Newsflash, Cowboy Nation. Old Mike McCarthy, he played tight end in middle school, high school, and college. So I'm thinking with my mind that he's going to look at Blake and say, okay, this is what I want you to do in these situations. This is what I did in these situations as it relates to coaching. And this is what you can do now that you are going to be the guy that's going to run inside routes, or even if it's inline route running or whatever it may be. I want you to vertically stretch this thing up the middle. Oh, that creates all type of openings for Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and everybody else, whoever else we go out there and get in the draft. This thing is going to be medieval. It is. It's flat out going to be medieval. I think that this team is going to be a whole lot better. Now, like I said, NFL.com, you know how the NFL network does with these mock draft situations and going back in the past and sitting there looking at the 2016 collective draft party. And they are saying that Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys would have still got him. They would have still got him. So that's what I want to bring home to everybody. And when we think about it, all I'm saying is that every year, and let me know if I'm wrong, every year I've been looking for this Dak Prescott to improve. I've been looking for him to improve, step up through his throw. He finally did it last year, but the previous year before that, we wanted him to go through his progressions a little better. He did that. We want to see him take advantages of the 8, 9-man front. You guys know how that goes, right? When you see that 8, 9-man front, audible out of that play, hit the one-on-one to the outside. And he was getting to that pace last year. And he did. All through Oxnard, all through the games when it was one-on-one with Michael Gallup and whoever the wide receiver was on that edge, he attacked the field. He attacked the ball down the middle of the field to when Blake Jarwin was out there or was what have you. But what I'm saying is this year, what I'm looking for Dak Prescott to improve on, back shoulder fade. So every year you got to work on your craft. The difference between a quarterback and a running back or whatnot, in any other position, quarterback just lasts so long and they can just improve on the overall body of work. And that's what I like about quarterback play. So we will see what this team is going to do. Now, I'm going to leave with this one objection. You got to leave you guys some objectivity. Looking at this particular draft with the 17th pick, Dallas Cowboys select. I'm team defense. I love defense. I don't like defense at all. I love defense. I know I see a lot of people sitting there saying, okay, we can go offense with this particular pick, or we can go with the likings of a center or what have you, or an offensive tackle. I'm best player available, right? Best player available, draft BPA. If, and I'm using a big if on your draft board you have the Huberts of the world, or if you have the Jordan Love kid, who I believe out of this particular draft will be the best quarterback out of this draft. I know everybody how Burrows or what have you, but if Jordan Love is there, this is my objectivity. Don't try to crucify me. But if Jordan Love is there and he's your highest rated player on that draft board, don't get too cute. Don't try to trade back out of it, and trade down or what have you. Don't try to do all of that stuff. Pick up that guy. Pick him up. Let me know how you all feel. Best player available, and groom him. Look at it and like this and say, okay, Dak Prescott, the pressure and the heat is even more. Because now we got a first round pick as it relates to a quarterback. That's 5 years that you hold the rights to. Think about it. That's a calculated move right there. 5 years is a long time. A very long time. Let that sink in on your mind. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Let's go.